Had our typical Tuesday practice for App State today. Very tough opponent. They do a good job on offense. Very multiple shift motions. The quarterback, Cole, can make every throw. He does exceptionally well throwing the deep ball. Rashad Dominion, someone I know personally. John Adams, who's on our staff, coached him in high school. Really good player. A lot of the running game goes through him. Their tight ends are very physical, willing blockers. The one tight end that's a transfer, very athletic. You got to make sure you know where he is at all times. And their slot receiver is very dynamic. He returns punts for them as well. That came from Austin P. That was an awesome pickup for them, and he's very dynamic with the ball in his hands. And then they have 6'2", 6'3", 6'4" receivers, and they got one of their best players back, number one, from why he was out. He had a big game last game, so they definitely have our attention, and they can beat you in a multitude of ways. A little bit different than our last opponent, and that's the thing about matchups. We got to be very good in the secondary of this game, and we got to stop the run. So it's going to be a tough deal. Defensively, they're multiple as well. We got to win up front battle. Got to continue to improve the run game and the run plan, and got to get Ted the football and see how they're playing. Ted and quarterbacks got to progress, get the ball out of their hands. Offensive line got to block, and we got to play with more urgency, and we got to play complementary football in all three phases, something that we really hadn't done for 4 quarters, and we got to do that to have a chance to win this football game. But got a lot of work to do, got a lot to clean up from today's practice, but I like where we are right now. We just got to go detail some things up as coaches and come back and hit red area and third downs tomorrow and some of the blitzes that they'll present, along with some short yard stuff.
You mentioned post-game just offensive struggle, especially on the line, and you said you need to go back and review some things. Have you had time to do that? And
yeah.
What have you noticed just from that last performance and just areas of improvement?
Yeah, just not on the same page, not staying connected, too loose on blocks, and not running to the correct techniques at times, and decisions. We pulled a ball and we shouldn't have pulled it. We should have gave it. Threw a ball, should have gave it. So it's like some of the RPOs that are attached to the runs, we should be doing the opposite. So it's some miscommunication, misreads, and we just got to do better as players and recognize, what we're trying to do, and we need to kind of scale back what we can do based on what we have and who we have playing, because we got some guys that are down in several positions on both sides of the ball. So we got to get these other guys up to speed.
Something I forget if it was yesterday on the media call or if it was the post game. You mentioned that the O-line was having to maybe stay in their stances a little too long when you're getting the play in. Is that something you can change midseason and how you handle that? Do like a muddle hut or whatever, just so they're not doing that? Or is that something?
Yeah, absolutely. You can change the tempo and things of that sort. But once we break the huddle and then we were subbing late. Jam, you did a good job of subbing late, doing the 1-for-1. Like, we caught them a couple of times as well. So that's coaching. Coaches can't sub players that late and allow them to sub, and now you're in a panic, or vice versa. The O-line's been down, and now they get antsy. And if you got something play call and somebody loses focus, I mean, it's basically a lack of focus, but it's also our fault as coaches.
You're obviously going for whatever to find answers in the run game. Is there a certain point where, because of what he offers mobility-wise, that Cam Brown maybe ends up needing to be the answer at quarterback just because he gives you that extra number that they're going to have to account for, maybe more than TJ does?
To a certain extent, I can see that point, but also there's just things that they do better. The thing that sometimes we don't all look at is, you got two different styles of quarterback, and then what if Cam Brown goes down because you run him too much? Who's the next Cam Brown on our roster? So there comes a there's got to be somewhat of a balance, and you can't really go all in one style because they're just both different guys, and we just got to do a better job as coaches of maximizing, changing things up, even in series, and not just playing a particular person for one whole series, if that makes sense.
Yeah, after the struggles, especially against Ole Miss and Vanderbilt defensively, it seemed like that was the best defensive effort this past week against James Madison. How do you build off of that and just try to carry that over into this Appalachian State contest?
Yeah, it's not really a carryover. It's what we do on Monday, what we did on Monday, what we did today, what we're going to do tomorrow, what we're going to do Thursday, Friday. Them studying the plan, them watching tape, them understanding the clues to the test. And it starts back over. Now you got to take what you learned during the week to the game, and then you got to tackle well and make adjustments. So the formula hasn't changed. And like I said, we made some changes with personnel, but we're going to have more changes due to injuries this week. So just next man up. I'm fortunate with some of the guys that we have out, but we got to prepare the guys that are available to play.
And then what special teams? Obviously, it was not the best day, special teams-wise, blocking or defending really overall. Does that include changing some of the personnel on the special teams, or after what happened against James Madison, maybe changing some schematic things this week on special teams?
I mean, the one fake punt they ran, I mean, we were there to make a tackle, and we didn't make the tackle. The other one was, like I said, a call that they executed, but the same thing. If our end that's edging the defense don't go inside and allow the runner to get outside, then you got pursuit coming from the inside. So it's just one of them things that a young freshman was playing, and the other guy's a sophomore that missed a tackle. So it's everyone's has a job to do, and they got to execute those jobs. Of course, you can always go back and second guess and say, all right, let's just not do this or do that. So we just got to execute a lot better in that part of the game. And then as far as the punts are concerned, the punter has a responsibility of punting the ball in the right location. That's been the biggest hiccup. If we're punting the ball to the right and the ball ends up on the left and everyone's going this way and all of a sudden it's not, then that creates a lot of issues. And so we've been really, really harping on just location. And if we're in the right location, we'd have covered a lot of those punts a lot better too.
But the defensive line, yes, some guys get dinged up, injured in the game. How are they?
I don't want to say right now. So, but yeah, we got some guys that are down that we'll have to play with some more guys. Just trying to see how that's going to correlate and translate.
What is AJ's status? Because it wasn't on the injury report last week, but was not in the game. And is it a case now where he's just playing behind the other guys in the interior offensive line, or is like healthy but not all the way back? Or I guess how would you characterize it?
Yeah, he's healthy. He's back, and he'll play this week. It's not necessarily he was out or anything like that. It was some things he had going on, and he was available this past Saturday and was able and could have played. But he'll play this week.
Your evaluation of the guys came in, filled in for Domain at linebacker this past Saturday.
Yeah, Josiah had an excellent game. He's really doing a good job of leading that group, and Kobe Owens played a lot of snaps, and Kendrick Walker kind of fills in there. It's just you got to play complementary football. It's a team game. When we all succeed, we all win. When one of us lose, we all lose. So we just got to continue to buy into that, continue to buy into the process of what it takes, the accountability on an everyday basis, whether it's going to class, study hall, parking on the back gate, doing things that you're supposed to do, all kind of carry over. Get enough sleep at night, not hanging out, putting good food in your body, hydrating. So all those details are needed for any individual to maximize their performance.
What's about your running game? Saw some moves, a little bit like a ransom. Talks about just your mix and how that's progressing.
Yeah, like we're just implementing the plan, and we're gonna run who's available, and hopefully we ought to execute a lot better on Saturday in the run game. And like I said, that's play calling, that's execution, that's offensive line, that's tight ends, quarterbacks, running the correct run check. So there's a lot of parties involved in the run game, and we all have to do our job there.
App State made a change at QB this last game with J.J. Cole coming in. Was there anything from this game where kind of he was the starter that was different about their offense, and any extra dimensions he adds now that he's been at the quarterback position?
Yeah, I think he has some mobility, a couple quarterback runs with him. I mean, they move the pocket a lot with him. He's a big guy. He can see, and he throws an excellent deep ball, and they take shots, and they got good receivers. I mean, that's to me, one of the strengths of their team. Moving the pocket, I think, helps, takes the rush off the pocket passer to a certain extent. But he did a really, really good job against Oregon State, and receivers caught the ball well. They made contested catches behind back shoulder catches, and they got a really, really good skill group of players, counting the tight ends and backs.
For this homecoming week, how are you on this week? You feel like a lot of distractions for the team, people around, and that type of thing. How do you usually like to approach it?
It's just homecoming. Homecoming's for the students and all the activities, alumni, everyone that's involved in that. We're not necessarily involved with a lot of different things. Of course, there's things that go on at night, and our guys got to be mindful of the plan that we got to hold our end of the bargains, execute, prepare, and be ready to play well on Saturday. So those are things that are out of our control with certain limits to them. It's up to the individual players and the leadership on the team to make sure that we're locked in on what we got to do. And not saying you can't have fun, but the fun should be winning the game on Saturday, and then you can do all the homecoming activities you want after the game.
Just kind of what's the talk in the running back room, the offense as a whole, to trying to get the run game going?
Yeah, I say just trying to hone in on the details. I think we were like very close last game, and just in past games of just breaking loose and having really good games, but we just got to take it to the next level and excel in other areas that we're not excelling in right now. So.
What do you take from last week, though, to know that you got a chance this week the way you guys played?
Yep. So JMU was like a really good team. I think they probably are going to be one of the best opponents we have in our conference. So I think the way we played last week was really good. It's just like I said, just finishing and taking on the second half just like the first half, and just getting the W. So.
Coach talked about just areas of improvement just with the line as well. As a running back, how do you help your front linemen just improve, just from your perspective? How do you help them out?
Yeah, just trusting in them. Just I've been talking to them guys like since the game, just telling them like we got it, like we're real close. Just getting in the film room with them, all of us getting there together, figuring out what we're doing wrong, and just we got to keep pushing because we're really close, and we're gonna get it soon. So.
There seemed to have been an issue as far as just the execution of play call to getting it to the players, and just with the time clock and everything like that. Mm-hmm. How do you work on that as a team just to make that area improve? Because it's been a focus. Even coaches mentioned it several times.
Yeah, I think just everybody just understanding what we got to do as a whole, like from the coaching staff, like just understanding what they're teaching us and all of our assignments, and paying attention to all the details so that we know in different situations what we're supposed to be doing so we can execute it correctly, so we can keep having good games from this point on.
Has there been a focus, though, just like from receiving the call from the sideline to the quarterback to the lineman, just trying to make that sharper? Is that something that you guys have just been trying to work on?
Yeah, just like going back to day one stuff, just paying attention to the signals and practice, making sure everybody paying attention, like I said, to what we're doing. So everybody can know what we're doing. Everybody can help each other out. If somebody mess up, like we've been real big on accountability this week and telling each other how we can get better, and, nobody being bigger than the team and being sensitive when somebody, else gets onto you. Just take the coach and keep playing together. I think that'll get us there. So.
As one of the vets in the running back room, what are some of the things you're saying to the freshmen, young guys, DJ, TJ, those guys, of just saying what they need to learn or what they need to focus on to get better as they go through their college careers?
Yeah, I mean, I tell them all the time, just like me being a freshman, I tell them, TJ and a couple of other guys like DJ Murray, like they doing really good. Like I feel like some of them were probably knew more than me when I was a freshman. So I just tell them like just keep going. Everybody just keep working together because they're gonna make a difference very soon for our team, sooner than not. So.
Your thoughts as far as, obviously it was a loss, but it seemed like you guys came with a game plan on defense, executed it pretty well, and gave yourself a shot in the game.
Well, yeah, for sure. Definitely. I think as a defense, we definitely executed. There's some parts in the game, obviously you're not going to play perfect, but some things that we looked at that we could have had a shutout, could have pitched a shutout on them. So, that just gave us something to look forward towards this week.
Was there any difference heading into the game that you felt like this was going to be a good outing, or just?
I'd say the only difference that we had as a team was this is conference play. We got to step it up. The other 4 games, obviously they count for something, but to us, this conference play, these really count, really, really count. So we just really locked in and honed in on the fundamentals, the little things last week.
Yeah, we saw the special team struggles, especially defending the punt. Just you as a veteran, how do you help those guys out? Or maybe you possibly being a part of that unit, that special teamer, just trying to clean that up, especially because it sounds like there's some young guys out there too, some freshmen and sophomores that are really kind of see some time and having their struggles with special teams.
With special teams, it just comes in the situational, knowing what if it's 3rd and 5 and they about to punt the ball, because we did have 2 fake punts ran on us. So it's about with the young guys, it's situational. Them knowing situations, hey, they want to score real bad. It's about to be halftime, things like that. They need to understand, okay, they're more liable to fake on this, or they're more liable to punt the ball to the field, or things like that we go through and teach throughout the week. They just need to apply that in the game.
And Coach mentioned, obviously not names, understandably, at this time of the week, but he says the defense may be down some players, especially on the line. How are you handling that as a defensive leader? Just because we may see some guys playing different roles or even starting to play more than maybe expected at this time of year.
They just got to step up. They're ready. I can see that they're ready. It is just about playing and getting the scheme down. From my perspective, what I need to do is just leading them. Telling them, hey, like, this is what's coming. Like, because as a linebacker, I can see more than they can. So just telling them, hey, this is coming, giving them that extra leverage on whether if they're getting a double team or not, just helping them out in that way.
Flipping the page to App State, what are you going to have to emphasize heading into this Saturday?
They're a good team, both. You mean like defense or offense?
You guys,
just in
defense.
general.
Your defense, like your guys' role, your keys, what you're looking at.
As in the defense, you just gotta, play the run, play the pass. They're very good at both. Just looking at film, they run a play actions a lot. So just in the linebacker room, being able to read, being able to see play action, being able to get out during the passes, being able to get downhill during the runs. So I think it's just, with us, it's just eyes and being controlled and knowing what you got to do.
I know you guys want to get back, getting more takeaways, but I guess where's the balance there of like chasing that versus knowing if you get too careful, you go too hard for it, you might give up a big play trying to make it happen.
You got to play within your bounds. I feel like if the ball, like how I play is just, if you do your job, the ball is going to, like, it comes to you, So if you're doing your job right, the ball is going to come to you. You're going to make that play.
And then last thing for me is homecoming week, and obviously what comes with that. How do you handle that as a team, just staying focused and just also having I'm sure you may see some alumni come through as well. Just handling all that comes with homecoming week.
I have a different approach to homecoming week. It's very hectic, and there's things coming around, but I see it as everybody's coming to support us. So like, you gotta definitely hone in more because you got alumni coming back wanting to support you. They want to see you win. So I want to see myself win, and I want to win for them as well. So I think just with homecoming week, it adds an extra leverage and an extra edge on my shoulder.